me ask you a question. Do you follow Jesus because of what he can do for you, or do you follow Jesus because of who he is and how awesome he is? Welcome to another episode of the Father Trucker. Stay tuned. All right, so back to the question. Do you follow Jesus because of what he can do for you, or do you follow him because of who he is? And we are still hanging out in John's Gospel. If you've been following along, we've been going through looking at the things that Jesus said in John's Gospel. And this week we're in the second half of John chapter 4. And there's this amazing story that takes place. Jesus heads back to Cana of Galilee, and the Bible reminds us that that's the place where he turned water into wine. And so Jesus gets back to Cana of Galilee, the place where he turned water into wine, and when he gets there, not surprising, somebody finds him who has a need. And in this case, it's an official. We don't know what that means, really. We just know that it was somebody who had some authority. And the official comes and finds Jesus. Probably not hard to do. If you were somebody who could turn water into wine, I'm pretty sure there'd be a crowd that would follow you as well. And remember, the Bible tells us back in John chapter 2 at the wedding feast of Cana that that's the first sign Jesus did to reveal his glory. So he's back in Cana. He's revealed his glory there already. And now this official finds him and says to Jesus, "You gotta come with me. My son, who I love, is really, really sick, and I need you." Right? And that's such an honest thing. Like, he's got a real need, and he knows that Jesus has power and authority, and we know that he revealed his glory by turning water into wine. And so the man says, "You got to come with me because my son's really sick." And I got to be honest, if my son was really sick, I would probably want to find somebody like that to help me with that situation as well. And so, but here's what I want to stop and think about for a second. Jesus responds to the man and says, you guys just really need to see signs in order to believe. And it's kind of a funny comment. He's saying to this man, your faith is dependent upon seeing something amazing. Your faith is really grounded in the idea of me doing miraculous things. And I catch this, what I'm after, Jesus, I think, is saying here is that you would actually just be all caught up in seeing me for who I am, and that you would come to follow me, right? And that's what happens with the disciples. They see Jesus for who he is. They recognize he's the Messiah, and they leave everything to follow him. Now, here's a cool thing. Here's a little bit of a bonus that comes with the deal. When you follow Jesus for who he is, you actually get to see some amazing things. You get to see him do awesome things. You get to see some truly miraculous things go on. But you got to get the horse in front of the cart. And the proper order of things is seeing Jesus for who he is, and then letting him do the kind of stuff he does when the kind of Messiah that he is shows up. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that stirs something in you. We live in a world full of troubles. And can I just say this, speaking especially to any Christian truckers out there, brother or sister, it's a hard go. And especially if you're an owner-operator like the Father Trucker is, you're maintaining vehicles, you're worried about things breaking, you're hearing every squeak and every noise, and some of them are legitimate. Some of them put you down for days, and it's hard. It's hard to maintain connection, with your family doing what we do. I'm blessed. The Father Trucker got to celebrate his 25th anniversary with my wife just this week. I'm a blessed man. I've got a wonderful marriage, not perfect, but wonderful. Married to a wonderful woman who there's a special crown in heaven waiting for her because of all the things she's put up with, I'll tell you what. I got 3 great kids and 1 great daughter-in-law, and I'm a blessed man, but it's true that this is a hard life. And so it would be real easy just to want to follow Jesus because maybe he can make everything better. It'd be real understandable that we might want to be a Christian just because the promise is that everything would be okay because we follow Jesus. But please catch this, brother and sister. We need to get settled with the idea of loving and following and serving Jesus because of who he is. So back to the story. After Jesus makes this little comment to the man, you need to see a sign to believe. He says, you know what? The man says, would you come with me anyway? And if you read the story, John chapter 4, the second half, you can just see the passion this man has for his son. I get that. Jesus got that, right? And so the man says, okay, I get it, but would you still please come with me and heal my son? And Jesus, I think, sees his heart and gets the father's love for his son. And he's like, you know what? Your son's going to be okay. He's better now. He's going to be better. It's all going to be okay. And the man goes away. And again, I would say that in that, there's a little bit of a sign that he did believe, because when Jesus said, you know what, it's okay, the man went away believing. And he gets home, again, read the story for yourself, please, but he gets home, and the servants come out and say, you're not going to believe this, but your son's okay. And the man says, what time did it happen? When did it change? And the servants say it was at whatever hour, and the man says to himself, that was the moment that Jesus said he was going to be okay. So what's the takeaway from this? You're like, okay, Father Trucker, what's your point? Well, my point is this. Bring your brokenness. Bring your needs. Bring your hurts. Bring everything you need to bring to Jesus. And let me just get around this corner safely here. Everybody, here we go. We're all good. But bring everything to Jesus. Bring your hurts, bring your troubles, bring your sorrows, bring your cares. Bring them to Jesus. And trust them to Jesus. The Bible says, cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. We have a high priest in Jesus who lives to make intercession for us. He does all those things. But please hear the Father Trucker. Don't miss the main thing, and that is, remember who Jesus is. The Bible says that when he heals this boy, this was the second time he revealed his glory. And so the point is, see Jesus for who he is. Let him work in your life in the hard places and the easy places and everything in between. But don't forget to give him praise, because he is due all of the glory. I hope that makes sense, brothers and sisters out there. Please like and share and subscribe and all that stuff. But most importantly, please pass this on. If you know a trucker who loves Jesus, who's trying to be faithful to him in this hard world, please pass this on to them, or anybody else for that matter. Hey, this is the Father Trucker. I'm just rolling up on my next stop, so I'm going to have to let you go. But to God be the glory. There's an old song we used to sing, to God be the glory, great things he has done. So loved he the world that he gave us his son. And his son is the most glorious of all. Stay safe, keep rolling out there, and let Jesus be the Lord of your life, and watch what he does. Give him praise. Talk to you soon.